Odin will do everything that he can. And over the page, we are just treated to this absolutely beautiful page right here. Odin doesn't give Frank a choice. He sort of says that this is happening. We get the transition from Old Man Frank Castle into the Cosmic Ghost Rider. And as we move down the page, we just get the blues mixing into the reds. It's stark, it's vivid, it's dynamic. There's nothing here that's really flat. Even the skull there at the bottom becoming warped and twisted in that last panel where the Ghost Rider says it's about time. Anyway, every couple of pages, we are introduced to Frank's motive in this story. He's going to right his wrongs as being the black right hand of King Thanos. He's asked himself the question, would you kill baby Hitler? Who allowed Thanos to live as a child? Why did no one go back in time and try and kill the little bugger? Frank's answer as the Punisher is to put a bullet in the baby's brain. And again, as a reader, we're treated to this fantastic art direction that has gone. Bright, vivid purples, blues, reds to these dark colours. A lot of black, a lot of shadow, a lot of cobalt blue and things like that. Cosmic Ghost Rider has de-Ghost Ridered himself, and we can see the Punisher's contrasting white hair as he points the gun at the little baby Thanos. We get the feeling that is communicates to us that this is a very dark moment for the character, for the Punisher, a character who does raise very moral questions regarding justice in the world. Either way, before Frank is able to actually pull the trigger, baby Thanos is able to leap out of his crib and land a good smack on Punisher. And it's not as if the Punisher doesn't try to shoot baby Thanos, it's just that baby Thanos is an absolute monster despite his infancy. Either way, the Punisher Ghost Rider's up and decides to give baby Thanos there the penance stare, looking deep into the little child's soul. We also get informed that back when Cosmic Ghost Rider served King Thanos, he would do this daily. Thanos loved it. He loved reliving all of the hurt and pain and fear that he had dished out across the universe. But baby Thanos is...
Hey, what's up, Aaron? Well, let me... I'm gonna not literally kill Meme Headroom. Well, here I am, trying to complete the epic trilogy. I drew a Xenomorph, drew a Predator, and I'm going to draw both of them at the same time now. Yeah, man. Like the Spaniards say, you can have two without three. Whatever that means. Yeah, it depends. I have days in which I like the Predator better, and I have days in which I like the Xenomorph better. I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to choose between the two of them. Yeah, Prometheus was okay. I mean, the story itself didn't make any sense, but I guess it was okay. It was Covenant that I hate almost as much as I'm hating this arm. Prometheus should promise, pun intended, but I think at the end was a bit of a mess. So what's new on the Twitters from which I have banished once again? Yeah. Yeah, whenever I get banned, I don't feel like I'm missing much really. I mean, I do miss my Twitter friends, but apart from that, it's me. Yeah, I recommend taking a Twitter break every now and then to everyone. It's not the happiest place on earth, nor is it the best way of being productive. You know what? I just realized that both the alien and the predator are black guys actually. Yes, continuing with the subject. Yes, there's something weird about being able to talk to people live, almost live, without having to look them in the eye. It's yeah, I don't think we're ready as a species for that. I will probably do some shadow boxing and some apps in my room just because it's raining here, as it always is around these parts. Nah, the gym's closed today, Sunday, man. I am obsessed with kickboxing, but not that much. And it's no problem. I've been told worse things, believe me. I actually only go to the gym. If we're talking my dad's gym, I only go on Tuesdays, which is the only weekday that I have off. What the fuck am I doing? Focus. Canales, focus. All the other days I have stuff to do. I have to teach kickboxing myself. I have to draw or whatever. So what are your plans for today? Barbecue with your family, something like that? I've done I don't know what's the correct term in English. Friendly matches with people from other gyms. You know, like sparring sessions, except not they were closer to real fights, but not real. You know, not real pro fights. Ooh, that sounds rough, man. Sunday night through Thursday night. You have my sympathy. What the hell am I going to do with this guy's arm now? Maybe here like this. Yeah, this could work. Well, if you like, the quiet life, I guess that night shifts are best for that. I'm more productive at night anyway. Hence why I don't really sleep much. Oh, nice. I'm a sucker from X. And those the guys who kicked Big Mignona for all the whole for the whole witch hunt against voice actors thing. I mean the Rooster Teeth guys. Nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. Fuck this one. I don't like it. Sounds like mass hysteria to me, if you ask me. I mean, I know people that like to do that. You know, people like are like, I don't know, extremely friendly and they will kiss you and hug you. But that's probably a European thing, so I don't know. If you ask me, this is another gate. This is another example of the establishment trying to take over counterculture. They already tried to take over video games, comic books, and tabletop gaming. Now they're after anime now. Right? I mean, they say that he made out with an underage girl at a booth in front of everyone. Yeah, nah. I'm gonna go with no. Yeah, well, rape and abuse is yet another yet another term that doesn't mean anything anymore because they've completely quotation marks raped it in the ass. The progressives. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It used to mean like you forced yourself into a woman or a man, which we all know that man can also get raped. But no, it doesn't mean anything. Now it just means I don't know somebody I didn't find physically attractive inviting me over for coffee. That's rape now. Okay, what was I going to do? Yeah. I think America is one of the few countries in which rapists would be shot inside. So I don't know where they're going, where they're coming from with the whole "we live in a rape culture" thing. What the fuck you're talking about? Nobody in the sane mind likes rape in a civilized country. It should be folded backwards. This is better. Yeah, this could work. Even feminists? Yeah, I noticed. Thing is, nobody likes feminists. Nobody likes social justice warriors. They're just afraid of them. They just pretend to agree with them because they don't want to be the next target. Yeah, I mean, there's clear evidence that women like traditional roles and men like traditional roles. And I think the fact that so many people are unhappy nowadays, that we had such high rates of depression and anxiety and all that, is because we're trying to socially engineer people to go against their own nature. A lot of women like to be traditional women, like to be housewives and cook for their husbands and all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why they're trying to convince us that, that's a life of slavery as opposed to working your ass off at a mine or a factory. that's too big. Yeah, I mean they're supposed to be pro-choice after all, right? So why the fuck don't they let them women choose whatever they want to be? I remember last year they demonstrated in front of a gym in Madrid, here in Madrid, because they didn't want women to go there and get in good shape and and get a buff or beautiful or whatever. Then again, we all remember the Grid Girls debacle, right? They only respect women's right to choose as long as they choose whatever they tell them to. Abortion after birth. Well, I don't think you can call that abortion, right? There's a word for that. There's already a term for killing children that are already born. I don't know. Am I nitpicking here? Am I grasping at straws? Right? I mean, telling a kid that she can dress as a princess, telling a little boy that she can dress as a princess when that she can change her gender when she said that's abuse. But killing them after they're born, that's perfectly okay. Okay, yeah, right. Sure, whatever, man. Whatever. Higher. This has to be higher. Yeah, that's better. Second trimester, I'm terrible at math, but isn't that like 4 months on? When your kid is like 4 months, that's already it's he's already pretty formed, right? How is Bobby formed? Jesus, when you're in the second trimester, it's a pretty serious thing, man. Hey, what's up, Midnight? I was about to send you a mail, but I figure you would realize I was here doing my evil thing. No, I mean, if you want to abort a kid in the second trimester, that's gonna be messy because that's not just a clump of cells anymore. That's. Well, You got that and a rise in prices thanks to minimum wage in New York, right? So when I go there this year, it's gonna be a blast. Well, if it's any consolation, that will probably mean that Trump is gonna get reelected in 2020. So hey, could be worse, I guess. Muslim police cars driving around New York City. What? Holy shit! I know the Sharia police is a thing in some European cities. I think they have it in Berlin and Stockholm. I think they have it in New York now. Holy shit, man! Yeah, I heard about the I think it's the Yiddish police, or I don't know how it's called. But still, I think we all know the difference between the Hebrew faith and Islam. I think there's several notable differences. Holy shit, man! Well, I guess your progressive friends got one of their wishes granted. You're more like Europe now. All those beautiful European socialist services. Nice, so tasty. Well, Europe is the place from where everyone runs away to the US, so I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend stay the US. I always find it hilarious. I never know how to pronounce that. But some of my artist colleagues who keep shitting on the US and how terrible and oppressive and fascist the country is, yet they're artists, as I said, and they draw comics and direct movies and stuff. Yet none of them migrate to Cuba, where there's a bustling movie industry apparently to make movies. They all go to Hollywood for some reason. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it through the phone. You know. Again, the connection is kind of shit. I have extra light today, but I don't think you can miss it because again, my connection is shit, and it all looks like it's been filmed with a potato. Yes, that's my evil shadow falling over the page. Huh? Autofocusing and auto balancing. I definitely need to learn how this goddamn fucking thing works. Sorry, pardon my French. This is why we need to go on a date, midnight, no homo, and you need to teach me your evil ways. And thanks, Aaron. I think he actually looks better through the camera for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, that's my phone. That's my Samsung. Okay, I need to focus here. Yeah, not only my camera needs to focus. I need to focus as well. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. um, Galaxy X S7. No, that was Zach. That was his art. I think he's getting better with practice too. It's funny because I made a comic a few years ago, and there was also a black guy called Devore, and he looked like that guy. Coincidence, or is it that great minds think alike? Yeah, yeah. I'm really eager to draw Iron Sights too. Once I finish the Abductables, that is. So yeah, that's why I had to put several projects, several offers that I had on hold because Zach is in a hurry. He wants it finished by the summer. So okay, just light armor. I bet you do. I bet you do because you're a freaking take wizard, aren't you? Damn it. Did you guys know that the dreadlocks in this motherfucker are genetic? I didn't know. I really thought they made it themselves or something. Like that's a cultural thing, or no? They grew them. Yeah. You think they can sense if you're a badass with those tendrils? Those are probably their, the badassness meters or something. Badass sense tingling. I can barely see the knuckles here. Thanks, yeah, that's what I keep saying. Just practice, draw every day. Draw, draw, draw. Just like you told me, since you're a writer. And I will say no more because I don't want to dox you, but yeah, do your thing every day. That's how you'll get better at it. By the way, everything I learn, you can learn on YouTube. Oh, I think it's already failing. Yeah, right. Yeah, I have that thing with comics that I begin drawing them and then I kind of get used to the story. I don't know. I kind of adapt to the story after a few pages or a few issues even, and that's when the fun begins. Okay, my image completely froze, guys. So I hope you can still see and hear what I'm doing because I sure can't. And this is why my connection freaking sucks. Thanks, thanks. Let me refresh the YouTube window, just in case. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, and the answer is yes, Midnight. I am available. So just just let me know when. So yeah, as I was saying, nothing, yeah, everything that I learned can be learned from YouTube. From YouTube, there's nothing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. And I noticed that like like the Crow, the original Crow comic by James Sobar, you can see the guy improving from one page to another. It's amazing. He goes from slightly cartoony at the beginning, like I don't know, really underground, and then he gets really, really good, almost photorealistic in the last issues, in the last panels. And that's because he was onto that comic for like 10 or 12 years. It's a weird comic, and you can tell that the guy was having a bad time while doing it. But it's really experimental. I think he used to have. I don't know about now, but he definitely used to have at some point. Because he's from Detroit. The movie's awesome, and in some aspects, it's even better than the comic book. Changed my mind. Yeah, the movie's great. It's a perfect blend of horror and thriller. Let's give this guy some skulls or something. Yeah, he needs skulls. You can be a predator without skulls. I did meet Jim Sobar first time I went to New York City Comic Con, and he struck me as a sullen, asshole, kind of asshole-ish guy. Luckily, he was with a very beautiful South American redhead. I think she was like her manager or something, and she was really nice to us. But Obar himself was kind of a dick. I don't know. Maybe it was for the better because the more I know about my heroes, the more assholes they turn out to be. Like Dave Johnson, for example. And yeah, the movies. What happens when you take the best from the comic book and just throw away the worst. Yeah, I think the movie is a brilliant adaptation. There's only two instances of that happening that I can recall, and one of them is The Crow, and the other one is 30 Days of Night. I really didn't like the comic at all, but the movie's great. The movie's actually pretty good. And yes, the soundtrack is awesome. I still have the CD. First time I heard about Nine Inch Nails, Rollins Man, and oh yeah, My Life with the Thule Kill Cult. It was a real eye opener. That soundtrack. The Cure, yeah. I'm not really a fan of The Cure, but that song is really cool. I was never goth enough to love The Cure. I know, I know you don't mean that, Midnight. Oh fuck! See what you did? You made me lose my concentration, and I fucked the point of my pencil. I need to sharpen it again. But yeah, I know I'm supposed to be a fan of The Cure and the Beatles for some reason, and I never really like any of neither of them. I gotta admire though. I gotta admire how how Robert Smith teamed up with Sidney Poitier to kick Barbara Streisand's ass when they all became giant kaiju monsters. Yeah, I always thought that. I don't know why everyone likes the Beatles so much. They're like, yeah. But funny trivia about Canales. My first official rock album was Metallica's Master of Puppets, which I listened to when I was around 14, something like that, and I was trying to create my first, serious comic with an actual story and all that. And somebody forgot that tape, the Master of Puppets tape, at my dad's gym, and he brought it to me. Yeah, he brought it home and told me, "Hey, listen to it. Tell me what you think." And it was fucking great, and I fell in love with them. And yes, Metallica are great. They're apparently assholes in person, but I love the music. We'll hold the fort for you. The good thing about Metallica is that at least they're pussies. Yeah, the Predator ain't going nowhere until he's done with the hard meat, which is how they call the Xenomorphs. They call them hard meat. How cool is that? That means they probably tried to eat them. Oh man, did you see that video that the guy said but in the sand did? The Predator versus Wolverine. Wolverine actually won the fight, but by a real small margin. Well, then again, he's kind of immortal, so you know. But yeah, my man is on Wolverine. Yeah, I don't like this arm. It's too lifeless. Know what I mean? Yeah, this might be better. Yeah, I think Wolverine's kind of overpowered right now. He used to be like just really tough. Like you know, if you kill him, he's not just gonna pop back to life like he does in X-Men. You know, in the second movie, he gets shot in the head, and he immediately wakes up, and the bullet hole in his head close closes. That I don't think that's how he's supposed to be. He's just supposed to be like really strong and he heals fast, but that's it. It's not supposed to be like the Terminator or something, which is like they made him to be right now. If you ask me, as much as I like the character, Wolverine is a bit of a Garrus too. Because he's got like, yeah, okay, he's got healing factor and unbreakable bones and lightning fast reflexes and military training and come on man. Wolverine if after you're fat. There's no way you can fight that guy. ¿Qué pasa, Osukaru? Yeah, that's right. I think Magneto is the only one who has a real advantage on Wolverine. He can kill anyone else that isn't Magneto with ease. I mean, his claws can tear through anything. Yet that's another one. I mean, his clothes can tear through anything. Come on, you gotta give that guy some weaknesses. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, isn't supposed to be like an anti-villain in a whole comic. I mean, his origin story wasn't just that. Some guy that Len Wein came up with, so Hulk, the Hulk could beat his ass in a comic. So yeah, I guess he just the concept is cool. I think wasn't he the first feral mutant? I think the concept of feral mutants is really cool, but he's kind of overpowered right now. Oh, I bought the Chris Claremont and Frank Miller Wolverine when I last was in New York City in a book of secondhand bookstore, and I still have to read it. But yeah, I mean the 80s. I think the 80s were yeah, probably the best age for comic books. They were beginning to be like more serious and more introspective, but still weren't like pretentious like shit like that today. But maybe it's just nostalgia because that's the age when I first discovered comics. Marvel too. Marvel too. Those were my first comic books, Marvel comics. Well, no, that's actually a lie. My first comic books were Tintin and Asterix. But yeah, the first comic books that I actually enjoyed and wanted to read were the Marvel comics. Yeah, yeah, I guess we're all children of the 80s, right? Which, if you ask me, was a great age, a great era to be a kid. The 80s. Oh, thanks. I think the perfect Predator artist would be Chris Warner, though, the guy who drew the original miniseries for Dark Horse. That guy really captured what a predator is supposed to be. Yep, dude, the 80s were great. Just in 1987, you could go to the movies and you could watch Predator, Lethal Weapon, Hellraiser, The Lost Boys, dude. Just one year, so many awesome movies. Whew, you don't get that anymore. Ah, this head needs to be bigger. There you go. It's a nice, plumpy, round Xenomorph head. Yeah, Carlo Rowe would be a great at Predator because he's got that old school muscle guy Simon Beasley thing really nailed down to a T. He would be great at it. I remember I loved Predator and the Running Man as a kid. The Running Man was amazing. It works as an action sci-fi thriller, and then when you grow up, you realize it's actually like a really dark comedy. And Arnold, he's at his cheesiest in that movie. Oh yeah, and the Terminator, of course. Terminator was amazing. It was a really big deal in my when I was in grade school. The Richard Bachman short story is one of the bleakest, most depressing things I've ever fucking read, man. And yeah, I know what you mean. I think we're both thinking about the ending. Well, you're joking, right? I mean, you're taking the piss. You of course knew that Richard Bachman is actually Stephen King. Because I know I can tell. Being a Spaniard in the U.S. is like being mildly autistic. You can never tell if they're taking the piss. Like needs to be bigger. I can never tell. I can never tell. I mean, as I said, being a Spaniard in the US is already like being an autist. And if you're a slightly autistic guy like I am, then it's even worse. You motherfucker! Fucking knew it. Well, if it's any consolation, we don't hate you, Aaron. At least I don't. Maybe Midnight does, I don't know. Oh, speaking of hating, did I tell you guys my horror story with Twitter? They got my new account suspended even before I was done blocking the usual suspects. My new account didn't last even 10 minutes on Twitter. So, I think this is a clear case of Senpai noticing me. Yep, that's what I think too. That's unnerving, isn't it? But I'm kind of proud that I made notice. I made Twitter notice me. Oh, by the way, I got this knife, which I'm using to sharpen my cyberpunk pen seal. Yeah, this Exacto knife. I got it on New York because I never saw an Exacto knife here in Spain. So yeah, I'm using American technology to create my art. Just so you know, guys. Just so you know. Oh, you do that for me? And yeah, you're right, Aaron. You're right. I mean, they have ISIS in there, but they can have canales. There you go. Like I always say that there was this couple of assholes, these two Spanish assholes, who literally said this canales guy needs to be shot, and I reported it, and they were just kidding, man. Take the context into account. Fuck you, Twitter. Fuck you, man. Yeah, don't worry, Midnight, because so far I'm able to procure myself all the stuff that I need. But yeah, if I can think of something, I'll let you know. Seriously, Dorsey can go fuck himself. I agree with you on that, Matt. Fuck Twitter. Fuck Jack Dorsey. I hope your drones or your underpaid Bangladeshi interns are watching this video. Jack, fuck you. Fuck you very much, man. Because you're full of shit. Alex Jones would break Joe Rogan's conditioning so hard. We're breaking the conditioning! Ah! Demon! Who's Jack Conti? I'm not all as up to date as I should be on these issues. Yeah, well, I think it's pretty clear that they have it in for the conservatives, right? Not just for the conservatives, but for anyone who's not like them. Because I'm not particularly conservative. I'm more of I'm more of a liberal guy, but I'm a wrong thinker, so I get lumped in with the conservatives as well. There you go. This alien is looking pretty neat. Oh, you count this CEO of Patreon, but a soy boy who looks like the prototypical. Yeah, well, I mean, what feminine man doesn't look like a convicted pedophile? Hey, Cardenas, you're right. You're right as fuck. Yeah, no, I'm all right. I mean, I've been literally called Nazi scam by Spanish comic artists. I'm a Nazi now. I've been voting left my whole life. I've been trolling fascist, actual Spanish fascist and riot cops in my spare time on Facebook. And now I'm all of a sudden, because I don't agree, you tell me that this is still running. I'm still here. How about you? Let me refresh the window. Please bear with my shitty. Yeah, we're still in. Bear with my shitty Spanish connection, guys. And again, Attack of the Killer Pixels. Canal Stream Part 2, Shot with a Potato. Yeah, well, it's a complicated issue. I don't want to get too political, but yeah, Basque, Spanish, let's say northern Spanish internet. Yeah, thank Jesus, or whatever deity you choose to follow. Well, what do you think, guys? How does it look? I could use some unbiased review of my work. I think it's quite okay, right? Thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure about this leg though. Well, it's still not finished, but should be. No, I think it's technically correct. It's just the angle that's a bit weird. Of course it does. Haven't you seen any of the extras for the Alien, the original Alien DVD? It's all about fucking. The original Alien movie was all about sex and rape. I mean, that's why they brought Giger in, right? Well, that's something that you could tell to a facehugger. I will not be manhandled. Famous last words before being actually manhandled. Yeah. I think the tail is the right size. It's not too short. What is he doing with his arm? I got a couple ideas. Yeah, yeah, I like this idea. Whoa, 24 degrees South. You mean 24 degrees Celsius? You lucky bastard. You lucky bastard. They should be the other way around. Shadow should be. Yeah. Can you shave one of the least Ask Maidens and send it to me? Hmm, I can try, but I'm gonna need a team. I'm gonna need to assemble a team because those things are really dangerous. I'm going to need an expert tracker and really tough guy who can handle like chains and stuff. And also I'm gonna need lots of tranquilizing darts. Can you afford that? If you can afford that, I can guarantee you a Basque Maiden in your mail in record time. Hey, what's up, Edwin? The ace is in the house. Hail, Edwin. Hail. By the way, since Edwin's here, you should go check it out his channel in which he interviewed me last week. I slept only 5 hours thanks to him, but I regret nothing. It was totally worth it. Yeah, okay. We're getting there. Slowly and painfully getting there. Now let us add some weight to the lines, which is something that I also learned from EBS. It's a really good art teacher, mind you. Much better than anyone who taught me at art school, anyway. No, you damn Irish drunken monkey. It's in English, which is the language of the Empire. Yes, behold. Behold the link in the chat. It was my pleasure, Edwin. Anytime, man. I have a soft spot for the war campaign, guys. I know you guys are really polemical and controversial and stuff. I don't care. You guys have always been nice to me, and I always have a great time hanging out with you. So anytime. It was wise of you, Midnight. It was a wise decision. Okay, so what do you think? Do we call it a day? Thank you. Yeah, I think it looks quite okay. Still not sure about this leg here, but I don't know. The inker will probably fix it. Eh, fuck it. Leave it to the inker. Thank you, Antonio. It's always a pleasure to be on War Campaign. I always have a great time. It's the shitlordiest stream of all. By the way, you should invite Midnight someday because he's really a bad motherfucker when he wants to be too. So it's gonna be a riot having him there. And he also has a comic coming up called Tech Force. Yeah, I really like the concept behind it. No problem, man. Yeah, but I'm in it. I mean, your comic sounds really interesting. It's hard to find these days a deconstruction of the superhero genre, which is also respectful of the genre. More texturing, more texturing. This needs more texturing. So yeah, this has been going on for 92 minutes now. This is probably the longest stream I've ever done. Then again, this was a complex picture. Yeah, let me use my precision laser here. If I can find it, that is. Did I ever show you guys my graveyard of art supplies? Check this out. There's everything in this tray. That's why sometimes it's a bit difficult to find the stuff you're looking for. Ah, here it is. Precision erasing commencing. That was a wise thing to do. Also, get yourself one of these things, one of these need erasers, because it's great. It's really absorbing, it, if that's a word, and it doesn't leave any residue, any filings or however you call that in English. So yeah. Oh, nice. You sculpted. I tend to do that, except I do that with my hands, and I do like this, and I use like the small tiny bit to erase. Okay, so yeah, I kind of like how this looks, how this turned out. So I may have to scan it and color it at some point, or at least tones or something. So yeah, if that's cool with you guys, I think I'm gonna log out now and hang out with Midnight in the VIP room for some one-on-one and artistic discussion. What is this? The hidden penis. Oh, you mean in the picture? I thought you were asking me to show you my penis. That would definitely destroy my channel, but it would be worth it. I would be willing to try. Not yet. But yeah, I may have to ink it someday. Too bad I'm busy as hell trying to finish the abductables and working on uh, you know Jacob's graphic novel too in my spare time. and not sleeping. But yeah, maybe one day, maybe one day. See, I can't stop. This is, I think it was Picasso who said, you never really finish a piece. You just get bored of working in it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I think that was it for today. I'm gonna give you a last look at the whole thing. See, not bad. I think I like it. Yeah, yeah, it's better. Yeah, I like it, and hopefully you will like it too. So yeah, that was all for today. Thanks for dropping by and bestowing me with your presence, which I always appreciate. I'll see you all next week for another episode of Drawing with Canales. Who knows? Who knows what the future will bring us? So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Stay awesome and don't do drugs.